What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I am your host, Eric, and today we are going to discuss CEOs, their despicable perspective, and we're going to discuss politics and the importance of not electing the candidates that the CEOs really would love to be in power. Because if we do that, we stab our own selves in the back. And at the same time, strain our shoulder while we're doing it. Because any working class person that votes for someone who demeans working people, who thinks that it's their job to make sure that business always reaps the rewards and that people are held in line and held in check and kept at the turnstile of work and doing their meaningless jobs for little to no pay and little to no benefits. Stab yourself in the back now if that's you. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a property summit, and Tim Gurner, the founder and CEO of Gurner Group, had this to say about the state of economics in the world. Now listen to the attitude of this CEO and understand something. He is not an outlier. He is what they think like. So let's take a listen.
We have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. Tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. They have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40-50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around.
Did y'all catch that? We need to see pain in the economy.
Paid a lot to do not too
People are getting paid a lot to do not too much.
We need to see that change. We need to see unemployment.
We need to see unemployment rise. Has to jump 40 to 50% so that we can see pain in the economy.
They work for the employer, not the other way around.
To remind people that they work for the employer and not the other way around. Listen carefully.
There's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them.
He says there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them. They are, by the way.
As opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do. The government.
He claims the world is trying to hurt the economy by increasing unemployment by up to 50%. What will that do to you as a working person if these CEOs are successful? And what this dodo bird fails to realize is that very long ago, when the industrial age came about, maybe prior to that, we had an economy where it was almost like a fiefdom or a serfdom, where you had little kingdoms, and these owners would treat their workers horribly and exploit them terribly, and there were no protections. So what the employees had to do back then was rise up in the form of pitchforks and torches, and they would go to the boss's house, the CEO's house, and they would murder the CEO, and they would burn the house down, and they would take the wealth that their labor produced, because that owner was greedy and abusive and exploitative. There is no difference in today's climate. The only difference is we are so disjointed and disconnected that we don't even realize who we should be pointing our ire at, because they figured out hundreds of years ago, if they just kept throwing us culture war bullshit, we would fight that instead of them. And they do it expertly, and they've been doing it forever. And this is just another example. This guy is just basically exposing us to what CEOs think about us. And you've heard this before. I don't know why we're taken aback by it, but they don't give a F about us. We need to stop looking up to CEOs. And this ties into something else. Here in Virginia, in the 65th district, we had a debate last night of the delegates. And Josh Cole is running on the Democratic side, and there's a police officer running on the Republican side. And at the debate last night, a question was posed to the police officer, and they said, "It's been said that you are bought and paid for by the GOP. How do you respond to that?" You know what this police officer did? He stood up and he actually had the audacity to stand there and go, "Well, bought and paid for. I don't really know what that means. I don't know what that means, bought and paid for. Well, what's that? I don't know what that means. I was selected." Hey, smarty pants, that's what it means. They hand-plucked you. They hand-picked you to be the candidate on the GOP side because they knew they were facing a young, black, excellent politician in Josh Cole for the Democratic ticket, and they needed somebody, a minority, that could maybe get some votes. And you, token, decided to be that guy. And you're standing there going, "I don't know what that means, bought and paid for." Well, when Brother Cole got up as his chance to answer the same question, he matter-of-factly stated, you said it yourself, you were hand-selected by the GOP to get into this race. Out of all the candidates in the entire state of Virginia, Governor Youngkin's political action team has poured the most money into your campaign. The MAGA Republicans in Virginia are supporting this guy. And he wants to act and sell us that it's not so. We as working people have got to be smarter than all of this. And we need to look past this. It's the whole reason that I do everything that I do, to try to inform and educate and to try to bring some levity to your everyday experience, because, brothers and sisters, there is a game afoot and you are a pawn in this game. You hold no real power on your own. You're just a pawn. And they will use you as ever they see fit, if you allow them to. But collectively, brothers and sisters, collectively, siblings, we have all of the power. If we could just stop bickering over the nonsense that they distract us with, because they distract us every day on Fox News, on MSNBC, on CNN. They're throwing us fodder to keep us split up, divided, and pointing fingers at each other saying you're the problem. No, brothers and sisters. I don't agree that somebody who spins wrenches right next to me is the damn problem. The problem is that Gerner CEO and everyone like him who thinks like that, who views working people as a commodity to be used, exploited, and discarded. It's up to you to love yourself more than the culture war. It's up to you to love your experience, your community, your neighbors, your co-workers more than the culture war nonsense. We have siblings that are stuck in a cult. Show them love too, but pay no attention if they're not listening. Focus your energy where it matters, where it can be helpful and be impactful. Find your voice and use it. Because powerful people will try to silence you so that they can continue to be powerful people, as long as we all stay destitute, hungry, and broke. So we keep pulling the levers of the machine, and they keep getting fed, and their bank accounts keep getting fatter, and their kids can rule over us when their time comes. Screw that. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember, the fight is not left and right. It is up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one, teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there can be no union without you and I front and center. Peace.